So Smash Rex was recently published. Great. You always love to see a big ambitious project come to life. Sometimes. With a new game comes the new adjustments that you'd expect to see from these wacky jokers, including the ability to flip from side to side on the screen. Very appreciated. Some of these changes are for the better. Vector Man has stopped being a reign of terror, having his gun switched to his B button, and he's got a fantastic new set of punches, which I approve of. Dude is fancy. Other changes are not so good. Black Shadow went from having a quick and instantaneous double dash to a grunty tryhard who literally does the Ganon charge. The double charge was awesome, and you did not need to change it. But on the flip side, this did get changed into this. So, ebbs and flows, I guess. Phantom Ganon gained the ability to go fast or to deceive. A very neat change. But in return, he had to lose the Triforce of Power. That's kind of annoying. Fireman still gives me the creep. Waddle Dee still has redundancies. Alucard actually feels like a vampire now, which is fantastic. And Shovel Knight has my vote for the funniest character in the game. Just put on your hook gloves and go to town. Among all these adjustments and deviations, though, there's one that I feel is a bit of a problem. So much so that I am shocked that such a mistake was allowed to be made in the first place. And no, it's not getting rid of Sub-Zero's costumes or making Kazuya harder to use. Kazuya being hard to use is a good thing, but the costume thing is a close second. No, among all these heroes and weirdos and Zeros and Neros, the one person that I think is fatally flawed is a small, unsuspecting character that no one would even take a second glance at, despite the fact they've been fighting him for years in Smash Bros.'s only campaign mode for the entire series. Bop you, Sakurai! That's right. Of all these people, who I feel was catastrophically done dirty, it's one of the new ones. The bleeping Primid. You can't be serious. You can't change a character who just got added to the game. Yeah, you would think that, you daffy bot. So what's wrong with him? Presentation-wise, he's fantastic. He's got the trips. He's got 3 distinct sword swings. He's got a big punch. He's got a boomerang. He's got... Oh, and the minions! Can't forget the lovable knights. Look at them go. Look at that little bleeping try-hard. Their moves can be best described by the phrase, try really hard. They're weak, but they try really hard. Try really hard. Try hard. Try hard. Try hard. This is you in the eyes of Nintendo. To describe the problem is going to be difficult. I need to describe to you what each move does and what its most valuable use is. So to do that, we're going to go on an adventure. I am going to review the Primid in the way that every Smash Bros. Character should be reviewed. A complete run-through of the subspace of misery! Let's see... 64, and we're good to go.
Yeehaw! Oh, take that! Oh no! Oh! What? Ha! I'll get you, sir! I'll get you! I don't... Oh no!
Wait. Right. I should explain how this works. Upon starting a match, you need to pick the character with the letter closest to your guy's name. Then upon getting started, press L, R, and D-pad down. Then you go down up to player 1 codes, enter, and there you go. Why the heck do we call this dinky little thing a D-pad anyway? There's no D. Back in the day, it made sense. It was called the directional pad. But nowadays, it's always paired hand in hand with a control stick. Nintendo did have a good idea by naming the C-Stick as the C-Stick so as not to have any confusion. And it does look like a stick. But this thing over here, that's not a stick, that's a mushroom. With a groove. PlayStation has had it even worse, as there's 3 L's and 3 R's. 2 of which being under the sticks. Some things just get carried over, not because it's a good idea, but because it's how it was always done. Being how it was always done does not mean it was a good idea. But then again, some things do get endlessly repeated throughout history because of their effectiveness. Like throwing a punch off a cliff, and then shooting a guy off the cliff. Victory. Oh, cutscene. Skip! And here we go, the first round of Subspace. This is designed to be a test bed for you and your abilities. So you need to take this time to figure out everything that your guy can do. Down stomps, up stomps, what guns does he have, the works. For example, air mobility on the Primid, I'm noticing, is terrible. I can hardly hit these spikes. I sure hope this doesn't come up often. Aside from that, I'm getting some incredible mileage out of the boomerang. Incredible. Gun is fine. Did you catch that? I'll have to find out later. Whoa! Look at that boomerang! That's crowd control. Yeah, that's right. Jump in the middle and get crowded out. Come on, Age. This ain't your first rodeo. Despite some spacing issues, I did clear out the rest of these goons with time to... Oh, wow. Need some work. No. And so begins our journey through the heavens, down to the ground, as Primid. And right away we got an excellent use case of the up smash. I'll talk about that later. Whee! A lot of people get confused by this here lip, but think about this from baby's first game. Will you know you can jump that high if you don't know double jump exists? That lip is there to encourage experimenting. No, we don't like cutscenes. Go away. Gotta do this every cutscene. Good goal. Good crowd control. Oh my gosh. Whoa. You mucked up. You'll do. I don't think I know of an item that I find near as useless as the turbo button. In fact, modders, this is a good lesson. You know casuals? The people who don't try to break their fingers when they play Smash Bros? Yeah, when casuals find a move to be totally useless, they will not use it in any circumstance, even if now would be a good time to use it. Oh, did you see that? That was awesome! You did like a flying headbutt kind of thing. Get out of here. I get you. I get... Leave no survivors. Okay, fine. It's Creep! Combining horrific qualities with this precious imagery gives the Creep a somewhat conflicted disposition, exuding both creepiness and cuteness. Correct. No notes here. Let me tell you the secret of this guy. You see that giant cauldron he's sitting in? Don't punch it. Always go for the head. Here's what happens if you don't. Look at how much effort is taken Kazuya Mishima to kill the Creep. It can't die. Oh, it's dead now. Look at how brilliant the Greep is as a first boss. Look at how hard it was to kill as Mishima. And look what an experienced player playing this game for years at a time can do in a matter of minutes. Why is he eating the metal? No, I told you, we don't like cutscenes. Level 2, and dropping through the clouds. Kill the tire. Yeah! Here's another new player-centric thing. Don't fear the fall. Safety is at the bottom. They gotta build that trust in people. Good first impressions. Pass the Ferris wheel, kick a Spock in the face, punch a tire, and oh-ho! Boomerang duel! Is it just me, or did he throw it faster than I did? Boom! Uh-oh. Take cover. Sneak. Here's another bit of nifty building tricks that Nintendo specializes in so heavily. Elevating platforms. Take you up here and realize there is another layer of platforms. Wow! Neat! Nintendo, you're so great. Stop babying me! Within this door, a surprise! Auto-scrollers. Yay. Sadly, this was necessary. There's a few in here, and this is the best way to let you know to be patient. On to the review, though. The gun specializes in doing what Samus's gun does with a neat little addition. Upward shooting. Sadly, you can't charge and shoot up, but any amount of up coverage is better than no coverage at all. On to our second battle arena. And, well, it's your average deal with the dude situation. If I had to compare it to anything, I would say Doom. If you play enough Doom, you get to recognize some simple, easy patterns, like, oh, this is the room with the easy enemies and the health pickups to let me get my bearings and know what and who to shoot. Whereas this room is like, oh, there's slightly more difficult enemies now. I've got a bigger gun. I've got to be careful about where I step. It's a simple process, but it serves as a great tutorial to let you know you're in for a tough time. The process is slow and gradual, but it builds up nicely, and if you give it enough time, you can conquer it. I didn't. Just like in Doom, knowing where to stand and what to use is the key to victory. And within a short amount of calculations, you will have a whole room cleared out in seconds. Race me, buddy. I win. You lose. Well done, Mike. Despite a 360-degree attack range, it has a blind spot between its two cannons. It'll cease fire when you put up your guard. Why are you lying? I kid, but the blind spot thing is absolutely true. Again, look at Kazuya Mishima. Pathetic. However, here is where I started to notice some difficulties that would rear down the road. Skip! This whole level is one of those odd decisions. Like, why just have a plain rock walkway with no enemies, no encounters, no nothing? Atmosphere. You wouldn't know that Kirby and Peach got wrecked on the Halberd without having a level on the Halberd, would you? It's for the world building. Despite that, I'm still going to skip the cutscene. Woohoo! Thought you were sneaky, didn't you? Ooh, that headbutt got me! Look out! Get him! I'll take care of you. Candy. Candy. Oh, shoot! Oh! Get the electrode! Use the headbutt! And now we come to the crux of the problem. This bleeping move. Much like Battlefield, it is a atrocity. It's short-reaching, it's stubby, it cannot reach people unless you're right next to them, and even when it reaches them, it does no damage. This is worthless. Meanwhile, these guys over here have their rocket jumps, and they can be aimed in any direction. Forward, backward, straight up. It is a fantastic move. It has so much coverage. If you pair this with a sword jump, you have options for all sorts of air attacks. In direct comparison, this is just sad, man. So what do I propose? Take this, get rid of this, put this over here, and make this the up smash. But keep this chargeable. That's right, 2 chargeable up jumps. 2? 2 chargeable up jumps? Are you serious?
Yes, and I have justification.
Remember Waddle Dee's redundancies? Remember Ridley's repetitions? Shovel Knight's double punch? DK's 2 kicks?
I'll even give you an official one.
So no, I don't think giving Primid 2 chargeable up attacks would be a problem. If anything, since he and the Subspace guys are the only things that Smash Bros. Can truly call their own, it would be on brand and thematically brilliant.
Oh shoot! I didn't want to break that.
What's up here?
Oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? Oh my goodness!
Something about this room is brilliant. The bricks are indeed breakable, and they're made in a stair-steppy pattern. Nintendo has this strange way of knowing how to get curious people to explore upper venues, and something that you modders need to take note of in order to make your own games someday. Because, my goodness, we need more people who do this kind of stuff that aren't big company. Oh, hold on. Time to test. Whoop! Hold on. Can I aim this? No? Yes? Yes! Maybe broke, but it's still good. And here we have the best item in the game for... Oh, should he use the boomerang? The best item in the game for Primid. First and foremost, he uses the same attack animations he does in Subspace, which might be bad. Standing is a sweep motion, and straight ahead does the range you'd expect. The real magic, however, comes from dash attack. In one quick fell swoop, the enemy is whittled down into their barest form, while you keep on moving straight ahead. For the first time in Smash Bros. History, the dash attack is better than the smash attack. It's Mario, and it's bleeping useless. Here's a double test. Can you ignore guidance arrows? And can you crack this open without breaking the lower platform? Neat test.
Oh Lord, it's a portal. Help me, Kimo. Chop it up.
Didn't even break the portal, he's useless.
Damn it, no. Ow. Help.
Boomerang!
Okay, try again.
Boomerang!
No! Dang it! I can't do this. What am I supposed to do? Don't moan me, I can't get out! What am I supposed to do?
Oh! Yeah, if you thought I was done grousing, you're wrong. Remember this terrible, terrible move? I think the reason it's here is it's built to be a get-off-of-me tool when you're surrounded on all sides. The thing is, you didn't need that. You have a perfectly good tool for that right here. You would have a good tool for that right here if it could do its job. So once again, what do I suggest? Take this here, put a box over there. Take this one, put a box up here-ish. This one over there, and give them the attack properties of... Okay, now, on second thought, make it like Dragon Kings. Keep the damage of the up, but make it fly like Dragon King. Is that a custom animation? That's pretty good. That one, not so much.
Oh, dogdammit, so that's how we're supposed to get through the might fight. Went the wrong way.
But then again, boulder immortality is kind of fun. Speaking of boulders, why are they here? They're doing more damage to the subspace guys than me. Who's dropping them? Is it the subspace guys? Is it Pitt's team? I don't know, I just don't know. This second grape fight is kind of bad because it's just a rematch. There's no addition of any primids, any troops, not even a bird. In Doom terms, this would be like if the final boss of episode 2 was just the final boss of episode 1 again. New plan. Time for a rampage! Never mind. Sword, please. Sword.
Hate this move so much.
Here's an excellent use for the boomerang. Use enemies as guns. I don't think a lot of people know that these blocks can only be broke by the cannon. Something about the cannon just wheels everyone into it to shoot. Probably because it's fun. Have you ever wondered what it'd be like if Kirby had a Donkey Kong cannon pulse? If so, don't. It's right here, and with infinitely more mercy. Okay, good to know. I don't get this room. I really don't. It's just a bunch of punchable spinners and no rhyme or reason between any of them. What, is this like a Doom Monster Closet thing where someone decided, I'm gonna stick all my favorite critters in this room and no one's gonna stop me? What is the plan here? Is he stupid? Ooh, I like that. Down smash. Down smash. Actually, wait. He's pretty good. Could use some work, though. It turns out you can use the gun just like the boomerang. What is that range? And we are back with Primid Critiques, number 3. This gun is a bad bazooka. To be a good bazooka, you need to have some power and reach to hit your opponent where they stand. Barring that, they just need to get across the battlefield. Much like my screen sizing, this one falls short. Look at that, only reaches 2 squares past the purple line. And the tiny shot's even worse. Okay, bit of a spoiler, but this needs to be shown. Look at the tiny shots. They reach almost across the whole skid. And look at the big shot. It goes beyond. That's a good shot. This nerf makes no sense because this is not the final boss becoming your unlockable character. This is the first enemy of the campaign. He doesn't need this weakening. That's a good boomerang. Group up, die. This is gonna cook someone to bits. Oh no. And the hothead is terrible. Unlike the spam in the last room, this one actually makes a bit more sense. Can you use the spinner to efficiently kill everyone in this hallway? I can't. You know, I hadn't realized how many auto-scrollers there are until this playthrough. I mean, a beat-em-up is the best place to use them, cause you gotta keep on your toes. But man, speedrunners do not like this, I bet. Oh, yep, sure enough. Despises it so much, he just skips past the whole thing. Ah, yes, fall past the spikes, a staple of Mega Man and Kirby. Doesn't mean much when hitting those things just gives you damage instead of killing you. Alright, Kymel, be a deer and whittle this guy down, please. A little faster, please. Useless. Starting without a cutscene. Nice. It can be quite annoying. When it spots you, it'll blow you off balance with some serious wind from its mouth. And where does it get off, skipping around so cheerfully? I mean, who skips these days? Seriously. Here we are in the Plains, the level with the best music in the game, so good that they used it twice. A lot of people don't like this level. I don't get it. If you've actually been to a place with green hills and whatnot, you realize that the plains is way more paintistically rendered than real life is. Because real life, the mountains are mostly green and sometimes blue if they're far away. The plains, they're all sorts of variations of green and blue. That is painted fantastic.
And Fallout's got nothing on this rebel.
As for Borboras himself, he's more annoying than he is effective. Really, he should be one of the most priority targets in the game, being a pushing force, keeping you from getting to targets you want, or pushing you into dangerous things. But I find more often than not, he is misused more often than he is used effectively. I'll point out some examples as we go on. The free play problem. If you're at all familiar with Lego's games by Traveler's Tales, one thing they had to often do was go back 2 levels again, requiring a different character to open different doors. But what if I don't want to do that? What if I want to play as the best character in the game, Wobbly Geonosian? Good news! You can do that! When you select your character, it picks you a team of necessary people in order to beat the campaign levels. Now, with the quick press of a button, you can swap between everybody you need to use, and then go back to your favorites in a minute of a second. Where am I going with this? I can't make it to the top. I'm almost at the top. For such a supposedly forward-thinking guy, it's sad that Mr. Soccer Guy didn't add the solution to a problem that was solved on the GameCube. And no, the debug menu does not count! It's too slow! And too dangerous! More on that later. I know you guys can improve this, because you all already collectively improved the change time between Sheik and Zelda. For buttons though, I would suggest using one of the extra shield buttons and one of the extra jump buttons, and adding a new setting here to say character switch left and right. I believe in you. By the way, can I just call everyone's attention to this one clip here? It took Kirby 20 years to figure out what Lego's been doing its entire life. Anyway, bad Borboras use number 1. Pathetic. One thing I am quickly learning about Primid is he does not have the air mobility to quickly dispatch of tornado threats. This may be bad for me in the future. Say, while there's a firefight going on, you know the tummy rubbing animation of the fire guys? Could we replace this janky eating animation with the tummy rubbing? It'd be great. Okay, he's dead. Just gotta get it. What a sad way to go. No, that's too soon. Always remember when dealing with fire primids, distance is more important then attack. You won't get points that way, though. So, pick and choose, I guess, if you care. Oh, right, also, bad Borbrass use number 2. Middle of the platform. This one is actually a little bit better. So much of it better, in fact, I want to fight him. So this is a problem. Borber works as intended against fighter characters, but he does absolutely bleeping nothing aside from a sharp kick. What do we do? Not to worry, I have a solution. You know Master Chief's gun? Makes the enemies wibble when it's detected. Combine that with Deathborn's wind, you know, the force moving kind. Make sure you use the backward wind effect and load that all into the minion Borberus. What the fudge? Okay. Need some work. Aside from that detail, like I said, this is a great use of Borberus as an enemy. Shoves all the action toward the fight. If he didn't bleeping walk away! Every time, without fail. If you don't bother him, he will leave the fight. This is what I mean. He is so badly used throughout the campaign. Okay, headbutt. Get it. Okay, start again. No. Wouldn't have this problem if I had the headbutt. For the Rayquaza boss fight, sadly, Primid is not equipped to deal with it. He has no powerful element attacks. He's not strong. It's a lot of whittling. So here's a speedrun tactic for all you menu users. Pick characters with similar letters. Mario Master Chief, Marth Master Chief, Sonic Soul, Snake Soul. Nope, no, I said it's dead. Guy, kill it. You need to be a patient pickle to play the lake. That door leads to endless loading screens. Anyway, here, you will see me having a crisis after having had to use that move. And over here is another reward for being a curious cat. Very reminiscent of Kirby. Keep this damage thing in mind. What a rotten way to go. What's the point of this tunnel? Why aren't any of them Chimals? Oh. Yeah! One complaint you will often hear about the Subspace Emissary is that it has bad platforming. Oh, it's too easy to get platforms. Oh, it's so simple. All you gotta do is double jump everywhere. Double jump, you say? So I tried to experiment. What if I ran through the entire campaign, again, with only one jump? Let me tell you, some of these jumps, ridiculously hard to reach. You gotta get creative. I would love to see a mod that gets rid of the unnecessary double jumps, like people who don't have wings, and see who can make it through the campaign with just one jump and an up B. Primid is not one of those people. As you saw yourself in the previous scene, the Primid jump is only just high enough to reach the platforms, and the platforms in subspace are higher still. Worse, his aero mobility is just not there. Much like Simon, he cannot move in the sky to save his life. Sadly, he needs it. Does Belmont pass the ladder test? No. You ported all of his animations and not the ladder?
The features turn to demonic nastiness, and the Toto's body turns bright red as it readies to ram you. Perhaps the result of its tantrum-hindered fashion sense, the Toto sports a pompadour when angry.
It wears that hairdo regardless. What the heck are you talking about? Anyway, Toto, I find, gets less and lesser still scary, the better you get at the game, because what threat does it pose? You know the optimal big punches to kill it. It makes no sense. The Toto's function makes no sense. Maybe if it were in a crowd. Oh, Lord. Set a trap. Here we go. And it worked! Good job, Kynal.
A subspace army enemy found firmly planted in the ground with only its lips showing.
Right. So you know Lost Souls and Doom? Small annoying enemies they can't hit no matter what you do.
These lips, by the way, are covered with spikes that stick in its victims to get this, suck out vitality.
What I'm saying is that the Buckalus is the Lost Soul from Doom. Really annoying, and might be worth it to kill.
Basically, this results in serious damage.
And if you do go through this horrible Hall of Torment,
the torso area has a poison zone where it stores vitality.
Your reward for your hard work and diligence.
The Buckalus not only looks offensive, boy, it's rotten to the core.
Is an extra life. And that is wonderful. A reward for persistence. The Goomba Hall, in comparison, is much less interesting. It's just a lot of progress. So far, so good. So far, so good. Dog damn it. Man, I don't get it. And here we are at the worst auto-scroller in the game. Hands down. First off, it's slow. That would not be a problem if there was a constant, endless stream of enemies. There is not a constant stream of enemies. Third problem. Listen to the music. Does this match what you're seeing on screen? If not, then you're right. It belongs here instead. I'm turning this off, it annoys me too much. But yeah, first time I heard this tune was in this game, and I kinda hated it. Then I played Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, and I realized it wasn't the tune that was the problem, it was the environment. I can't pick up the trophy. Is it because there's no image? Get on that, please. You have a few rockets, but it's not enough. I'm skipping this section. Still not getting through. But now, the moment of truth. Is it patched? Yes! Yes, it is. Whew. In the last version of this thing, PMX Remix, you had to get out of the game, switch to Brawl, and beat this boss in Brawl, then go back to PMX in order to get past. The fight itself, I quickly learned that Primid is a wimp who cannot kill to save his life, and I got thrown way out and couldn't survive. Forcing another one of these. Other than that, nothing interesting to say. It's just to fight Bowser. Moving on. To the best auto-scroller in the game. At least thematically. You're being chased by a giant child king holding a slingshot and a book while he destroys the already ruined zoo, even worse than it already was. This is the stuff that nightmares are made out of. As for the section itself, the most damage you're going to get is if you get distracted fighting somebody else when you should be running. This is what I'm talking about. There's not enough priority enemies in these sections to really warrant you attention being held up. When auto-scrollers are done good, you don't even realize they are auto-scrollers, and you instead just say, I want more of that, please. Can I get this? Yes, but I missed. There are two highlights to the chase. First is the fall, because it'll kill you for not paying attention. I love that. And the second is the return. Because, like I just said, this is the stuff that nightmares are made out of. I love it. Another common criticism of Subspace is the pacing. We just got done with a fairly slow chase from a scary statue to a equally nightmarish yet admittedly kinda cool boss fight. What is the plot? Well, for starters, it's in all those cutscenes I skipped. Secondly, this guy has a pretty good video breaking down the subspace story. And here's my comment chain explaining my problem with his videos. Feel free to watch it and read this as a side-by-side. If you're wondering, yes, this is partially responsible for why I tricked you into watching a Subspace Emissary mechanical breakdown / Primid moveset review for total accuracy. As for the pacing complaint, I don't know. I have to suspect these are made by Nintendo fans or Doom fans who expect structure in their games. Level, boss. Level, boss. Level, boss. This is not a level, boss game. This is a story game, and it's gonna be paced how it wants to, dang it! Speaking of that story, we're still skipping it. I remember back when I first played this a long time ago, the Ruined Zoo was one of my favorite levels because of the moody atmosphere and the neat colors. As time goes on, I keep replaying this less and less though. In fact, it may be one of my least played levels. Let's see if we can find out why. I found out why. To demonstrate, we're going to look at 2 levels from Kirby. The abandoned mall, and the factory. Take a look at the background inside the mall. Lots of hallway space, lots of floor, beautiful pylons, some extra layers, floors, steps, a working escalator. The only thing that's missing is doors, but this is a pretty good mall. Now look at the ruined zoo. Where are the cages? What's this lake have to do with anything? Why are the birds escaping? This does not seem like a zoo. It seems like a hallway. Inside the mall, we got these little display cases. A rack full of stars. A collection of podiums that store dummies might have been on. A room entirely full of fun shapes. This might have been the toy department at one point. Multicolor shelves with boxy shapes. Perfect for hanging big and small things on in a ladderwork of fancy arrangements. 2 empty floors that imply that whoever or whatever is still living in this place has picked them all clean. And an indoor garden that also implies whoever or whatever lives in this abandoned mall really cares about upkeep. Neat stuff. Back to the zoo. Aside from also introducing the flu, which is a terrible thing, there is nothing here that implies animals once lived and thrived in this area. It's a straight line. A flu will float in the air and attack nastily from behind. Harboring pent-up resentment, the flu's cries reveal 1 part sadness, 1 part madness. This especially hits home when gazing into its ghastly red eyes. But okay, maybe you're not convinced. The Kirby Mall is way too cheery, and the zoo is decrepit and ruined. There's no comparing. Alright, let's check out the factory now. Descending down the ladder, we have our floors of crates, a loading path for one specific set of cargo, a second drone heading deeper into the facility, a decrepit rusty crane, implying disrepair, a conveyor belt leading into the reject hallway, where discarded items get crushed and mushed into new shapes ready for recycling, the secret hybrid plant keeping preserved in fluids, a hippo big, a white bird, a black cat, a dark fairy, the power generator of the secret hybrid room, the smelting room / dungeon. On a side note, remember when things made Star Wars references and they were good? Good times. The mile-long crusher hallway, watched over by the evil engines. and the actual hallway artistically decorated with puzzle pieces and guarded by wind-up robots pushing laser walls. All of which is to say, the Ruined Zoo's kinda dull. It's actually designed like a hallway, but with none of the interesting features and decorations that would be in a hallway. And I'm gonna show you the worst example in a second. Okay, see this pool room? This is presumably where Shamu, the killer whale, would live. So you'd expect the usual fish decorations. A box of sardines, turned into skeletons by this point, some rings, some hoops, a few pool toys for the dolphin, you know, stuff like that. Now look at this aquarium from Kirby. This is beautiful. It's got big rocks, it's got all kinds of seaweed, a little snipper crab, a live fish, which once again implies someone here really likes these fish. It's got sand and decorated walls. Look at this. Now what's the subspace pool have? There's a barrel. That diving board would be pretty cool, but it's hiding behind that platform. So I doubt many people knew that a diving platform existed till now. When you make a two-dimensional game with 3D characters, you need that special sauce. Otherwise, it's just gonna feel so cardboard. Also helps that Kirby's camera actually goes in circles with him. Other levels in Subspace did have that special sauce. They were fantastic. I would love to know what made the Ruined Zoo go so wrong. Oh shoot, I completely forgot about the tick! But despite its weight, it can indeed fly. After taking a certain amount of damage, a Ticken will open up to reveal a little chick enemy. Notice the 2 bolts on its belly? And what's the deal with the 4 missing bolts? It probably hasn't even noticed they're missing. Ticken's greatest strength is as a ticking time bomb. More so than the ticking time bomb. He bides his time, waits for you to get involved, distracted, otherwise occupied, then he makes his little pip 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 pip. And if you don't get out of your predicament soon, you're dead. Great strength. Speaking of things that I forgot though, the beam sword. I already mentioned that his best attack is dash attack because of the combo it has, and his normal attack is the normal sword when you stand still. What's this doing here? Where's this in the moveset? This thing here is a stand-in from this blue guy, and can we replace it with this one? Oh my god. Instantaneous smash attacks? Do you know anything about competitive balance?
I have some suggestions.
Suggestion 1. Do Smash Bros. Favorite stupid trick and add a freeze frame at the end. Suggestion 2. Do the same thing, but put the freeze. Third suggestion, and the bad one, replace the standing attack with the fast attack, so that you have your smash attack as long as smash attacks are supposedly supposed to be, and your standing attack is fast. This is a bad suggestion, because it betrays the original purpose of the character, and you guys did get it right on the money the first time. Suggestion 4. Make the damage really low, and the standing attack really high, so that the smash attack is the instantaneous get off me, and the standing attack is the killer. Take your pick, I'm not too picky, do whatever you need to do to maintain competitive integrity.
Oh yeah, I beat the Ruined Zoo, by the way.
On to the castle, where the first thing we see is a flag! You're getting away, look out, flag on the horizon, what are you doing? No, run away, flag's right there, run away, get inside, run away, get it out, ah! Anyway, I really like Marth's castle. This old castle has a big old story to tell, and if you look at the cutscene, you can tell what that story is. Marth here is a hick, right? But he's also a royal prince. And as a royal prince, he would be one of the first to be informed of the subspace bomb that took out the mid-air stadium. Listen, if this garbage-eating bum can have a TV in the middle of a reflecting pool, then this prince hick can figure out a way to have a television too. If you take a look at the map, the castle is in a fantastic strategic position, being near a lake, near the trees to hide in, near the mountains, and near a perfectly flat path for optimal attack everywhere. Marth, being a royal pain in the butt, knew this and sent all of his staff and folks and knights away to save them from being bombed. And what do you know it? He was right. There's that subspace bass right there. Thing that's dumb, though, is that Marth stayed alone at the castle to defend it. That castle itself, though, yeah, you can see the disrepair from the abandonment. Do you think a primpy, blue-haired prince like this would let this place be this filthy? No! It wouldn't be unless there was an emergency, and boy oh brother, this is an emergency.
Without much of a body, Armide floats softly in the air, all arms, legs, and head. Resplendent in a nice armored helmet, Armide attacks with his arms and swords, and will sometimes throw the latter at you unexpectedly.
Armide's too lackadaisical for his own good. When he's alone, he does not stand a chance against you because he just does not have the gumption to actually kill you. He wants to be artful with it. Like a lot of stupid people, actually. Armite works best with a crowd of whittlers, because then he can join in.
Attacking a jick will do no damage, as they can't be defeated. But you better believe that a jick will deal out damage to you if you get too close. This foe epitomizes player-hindering obstacles. It gets in your way, and it hurts. It definitely isn't thought of fondly by the characters in the game. It may have something to do with the sharp spikes. Ouch.
On the whittling and have his final killing blow to finish you off. The only thing that doesn't make sense of my escape theory is, why are those ladders there? Ladders are put by enemies outside the walls so that they can get in. You should not put ladders on the inside of your walls to get out. You have access to the door. What's wrong with that?
It features an off-road motorbike helmet as a head, revealing creepy eyes that peek out from under its visor. It attacks using 3 head spikes and its wheel, and is generally unconcerned with environmental conservation since it wheels around freely, spouting exhaust from its muffler.
Strangely out of place green talk aside, I really like Rotor as a concept. As an enemy, it's kinda limited to startling you with sudden attacks from out of nowhere. And the jump. But I didn't run across the jump in my playthrough. Gall, I wish I had air coverage. Actually, looking at the environment, it could be that Marth already went through a war just a minute ago. And then upon hearing the bomb news, he was like, oh, heck no, I am not going through this again. Get out of here. Here we are. The Wind Field. A battle with constant movement pressure at your feet. It's a mild annoyance, really. It doesn't make much difference. Problem is, if they edited it to make a tons of difference, it would be too annoying and no one would like this level. Tricky balance.
Oh, finally! It has a justified reputation as a dangerous dude with a bucket filled of red-hot iron chunks for dumping on folks. Some say the phrase, drop it like it's hot, came from Buckot's firm belief in dropping scalding metal chunks. Good thing it has thick gloves. No, it didn't, you filthy liar. Where do you get off making up such dangerous fibs like that?
A long time ago, I thought to myself, what if Primid was playable? I didn't know what attacks he would have. Well, I knew for certain one move that should be his up B, the Bucket Grab. You know Snake, right? Snake with his helicopter. Helicopter in the air, that Snake. Bucket has a helicopter. Bucket has hands to grab. Primid should grab the Bucket. I went online a few years later to check if anyone had made a playable Primid mod, and no. But it turns out a lot of people had the same mindset. For example, this one right here. Bucket up B. Wow. Done by a guy who made this. And this. And this. This is awesome. Shadow 364 FSF. That's the name. From the same website, Obsessor 23. Go down here a ways to the specials, and there it is. Buckot lift. Grabs and lifts rising into the air. He also made this absolutely adorable picture. Now, granted, not everyone was on the same page, like Shy Gamer 108 using a Boar Blow, or Yin Yang Heart using what you guys used. But enough people had the same idea that I thought, oh, this is how it's going to be, isn't it? So then I waited. And waited. And waited, 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 and waited. Then I eventually gave up waiting. It was while my hope was completely dead and buried that I discovered PMX Remix and the addition of the funnest guy,
Kazuya Mishima.
and I thought, hey, that might be fun. I'll get this silly mod and play as him in subspace and record some clips. That'd be great fun.
Turns out you can't do that.
Later on, a second trailer for the mod arrived, and my main concern was, okay, can I play subspace for the new guys? But then I kept watching, and like a shot to my jugular vein, there he was! After 20 years, I had to make a hasty edit.
Primid! That took too long. 20 years. I want to be Primid in subspace now!
Seeing that you guys did not like or reply to me, I can only imagine that YouTube screwed me over again. The day finally came, and oh boy! Hurry up! Let's go! Get past the... Come on! Skip past the intro. Get to solo. Not there. Get to solo. Get back on training. Find the Primid. Where the heck is he? There he is. Smash Road section. Of course. Hit the stage. Let's see the Buckot Grab in action! That is not the Buckot Grab. Oh. So yeah, I was let down, but can you blame me? After years and years of waiting and believing that the Buckot Grab was going to be what the up B was gonna be, it was depressing. It was not fun. He's not at all like the sneaky snake guy. What the heck, man? But, upon closer inspection, I believe this is indeed the best choice you could have made for this guy. The way the wings flap, the flight itself, the fact it's using this taunt pose as the flight shape so that you don't have to make anything new and indeed keep it true to the original. That is bleeping fantastic, and I have to agree, you made the right choice. That's not gonna stop me from having opinions though. You know Snake, right? Snake over this helicopter. Helicopter in the air, that Snake. Suppose at the apex of his flight, Aruros let go of Primid, stayed where he remained at the top of the flight, and then turned into his enemy version to stab somebody, and then you could grab that version and throw it. And doing so would remove your ability to up B until he dies. And on the subject of improving established moves, what did happen to Buckot? Well, he, I'm gonna be honest, man, he needs to be more aggressive, because this is just not it. Why didn't he have the enemy brain of actually chasing down and trying to kill? Might has that, and Might's awesome. Okay, new problem. Primid does not turn metal when he turns metal. Wait, did you see that? So I have a suggestion.
Looking for a weak spot? It's inside that armored helmet head in the form of an emergency light. But autolances aren't subspace emergency vehicles. Why would they need an emergency light? Ah, the mystery.
There's no mystery about it, you silly person. It's telling its comrades that it's about to die and needs help. I always wondered why beating him gave you extra life. Was he really that tough? See, now here's the auto-scrolling section that the water raft wishes it had. You got tons of enemy pressure. You got a trophy that you gotta grab before you lose it. You got a bonus guy to kill. There's tons and tons of stuff happening and you cannot do all of it. Then it ends with a solitary grape fight. The ravines fight is slightly more interesting, with the upper cover keeping you from jumping too much and the auto lance coming in at the end. But you're only going to fight one, unless you go in co-op, unless you can't play co-op. I'm a bug tester now. Aside from having to sit through this every single time I start the campaign, here's what happens sometimes in a multiplayer game. One guy dead. Okay, this time it's working. He's dead. And now no one's spawning. I try to quit the game. And now the game's died. This bug is reproducible, but it will always happen sometimes. And I don't know if it was the case or not in PMX.
Floating lazily through the air, a fish usually looks like it's sleeping, but when it spots you, its eye opens and it attacks with its 5 tentacles. Gah! Attack of the tentacles!
I feel like he was supposed to spawn on the platform. Was there a bug or something? I'd describe Fish as a glass cannon. If he touches you while you're critical, you're going to dead. But until then, he is not the most threatening thing in the world. That's what Armite's for. A team of Fish and Armite will give you some hassle. Unless one's dead. Ah yes, the minecart caves. When people say that Subspace has pacing problems, this is the level they have in mind. Because for a large majority of it, you're just watching the minecart mow people down. It's funny, but you're not doing much. Meanwhile, this thing is fantastic. Rain from above, invasion on all sides, use the platforms as umbrellas. I wish more of the battlefields had environmental protection and obstacles like this, because this is just fantastic. You know, I've never actually tried running on this road without the minecarts. Might be worth a try. But then again, the only spot with enemies is on the 3rd minecart, so maybe not. Ike is too cool. I picked him while knowing Meta Knight was closer to P. While we're on the screen, do you see those big heads in the background? Those awesome stone statues that suggest a rich and vibrant history? Do you know how much theories there are and fan fictions and stories about those heads? None. Nada. Zero. Not even a hint. If those heads were in any other game, people would not shut up about them. Donkey Kong, Metroid, Doom. This is the great problem of being a multiplayer fight game with a competitive scene. This is one of the things I notice about your Street Fighters and your Street Fighters is that people who clamor about being so excited big fans of the game. Did you see how Zane took out Mango at PAX East West blah? They don't seem like fans of the game to me. They seem like fans of the people who play the game. And seeing as a sadly large portion of Smash Bros. On YouTube is about that, it's no wonder we don't get any theories and lore stories and whatnot about this kind of thing. This one's on me. I thought L was next to P. 1 hour later, and we finally made it to the forest, which you definitely recognize by now. Keep going here to get all the Primid footage, after all.
A puppet proves vicious with long, sharp claws and a mysterious beam emitted from its eyes. You would think based on the exterior wood pattern that it's made of wood, but no one is sure. More importantly, who is the one manipulating those piano strings? What an enemy! Mystery abounds.
Okay, that's twice now. What's going on? This is something I notice when the more someone insists something is mysterious and unknowable, the less mysterious it actually is. Take Frontiers, a game with a bad name, but an interesting premise. You play as this loser, wander around this empty abandoned island that has only ever been walked by living machines, and you wonder, what are they doing here? Who left them behind? What is their purpose? Ooh, mystery. These guys made the living machines, they put them here to protect the world from this moon. Oh. That's not very mysterious, is it? It's actually very straightforward. Thing is, though, throughout the entire release period of this game, the people making the game kept insisting that the mystery was big, and it had to be solved, and it... What?
I feel like there's a right way and a wrong way to do mystery. You know who I think is the most mysterious person on this board?
Sans T. Skeleton, known to his friends as Sans the Skeleton, this dude is a border patrol agent who watches the entrance to his home country and checks their pockets for any sort of infringing evidence, such as guns, knives, or human blood. Or at least he's supposed to. In reality, he's a persnickety prankster who, upon getting a new arrival for the first time in quite a while, decides he's gonna scare the pants off of them and then do the old whoopee cushion prank. Afterwards, though, he decides he's feeling so persnickety that he's gonna sneak the kid into the country via lampshade, past his brother, the great Papyrus D. Skeleton, the highest regarded watchman ever to guard a border patrol. After the escort, Sans says to Papyrus, "Hey, what's that over there?" In the same instance that he sneaks the kid into the country, he's already ratted him out to the local security. What's the idea here? Is he stupid? Hey kid, check out this telescope. Tickets! Get your tickets here! Concert tickets right over here! Hey kid, how's it going? What the heck are you doing here? Oh, you know, protesting. Howdy, Captain. Hey, kid, want a burger? Yeah, why not? Watch out for killer robots. Wait, what? Get off me! Go away! Stop! What are you doing? Wait, no! Ah! It turns out, Sans takes his border patrol duties very, very seriously. Stalking the kid until the end of the game to make sure he is a decent person worth letting in. And his motivation? He may be a time cop. We don't know. Nobody knows. All of which is to say, true mysterious people will not let you find out anything about them. Not without serious digging. True mysterious people don't look like this, or this, or this, or this, or by heck, even this. No. True mysterious people look like this. Poor old puppet doesn't even come close on the scale. Look at his competition. Wait, did you see that? Confession time. I beat the campaign before I ever found out that the up throw existed. Because you just can't do it. There's no leniency. Alright, I need to prove my point. Okay, Terry and Rock, right? They have this special side B where if you just press it, they do a thing. But if you press it and hold down, they get a secret second side B. Watch what happens when I try to do it 5 times in a row with Primid and with Rock Howard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, 1. Fail. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Finally!
Please make the upthrow more lenient.
Did you see that? I sound like the most annoying person in the world right now.
Now don't get it twisted. Only in the air. Only in the air does he throw fast. Not on the ground. This is a skill thing. You know, like wave shining.
Not the best intelligence, these artificials. Nothing special to report about this enemy wave, just primitive puppets. This was pretty funny though. Oh, hold on.
A Trellon will not attack directly, but will instead slip under the player and suddenly ascend. It will try to put players on its back and carry them off the screen.
Wow, way to ruin the immersion, Subspace Emissary. I thought the story meant something to you. Okay, I'm being too mean. I like Trellon as a concept. Wait, hold that thought.
Like most birds, the Auroros flies through the sky. Once one has you in its sights, it will dive in for the attack. Since it has a sharp beak, dodging the attack will leave it stuck firmly in the ground. Fortunately, you can pull it out of the ground and throw it like a javelin.
I like Trellon as a concept. Problem with him is he is a big, clunky, clumsy boy who needs absolute precision and a little bit of assistance to get the job done. A instant kill carpet who carries you to the sky. It's a great idea. But once again, just like Doom, it's all in the execution of teamwork among the enemies. Here's a bit of the sword being the best item for Primid. Marvelous.
Doggone, I'm gonna leave a flag on the map screen. Hurry, guys, hurry!
Look at that tummy rub and tell me it'd be a bad food animation. The fire immunity is funny. Speaking of, to the costume designer. I like your hypothetical element primids. They're really cool. Though I do have some issues with the costumes themselves because... I can wait for the battleship. I'll wait for the battleship to get on it. I'll wait. I don't get it. This one makes a little more sense. Do you have controlled power? Or do you fall down? I fell down.
Taking hit from this bad boy spells trouble. But what's the deal with the color difference between the shell pod's legs and shell? Therein lies a secret. Well, no wonder the shelled creature had such funny-looking legs. But even without its armor and horn, this weaker shell pod will still bring the thunder. Just slightly less threatening thunder.
I think this may be the worst one yet. Failed mystery aside, what if Tikken was bigger, faster, and stronger too? That is the shell pod, and he is, just like the Tikken, a ticking time bomb. Actually, wait, wasn't Smash Bros. Brawl mostly played by kids? If that's the case, then the mystery things would actually make total sense, because if you tell a kid it's mysterious, oh boy, it's mysterious, you know what? Like, I know a kid... Which leads me to believe that Paw Patrol is really an elaborate scheme to keep parents broke buying tons and tons of different car variations for the kids. What am I doing? Oh yeah, the review! Oh no you don't. Skipped. Alright, research facility number 1. I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be skipping large sections of this. Mostly because nothing really interesting happened this time. I'll just show the highlights. And secondly, this is where Subspace Emissary begins a long-running bad habit of trying to get people who don't like Metroid to play a Metroid game. Now you might be thinking to yourself, what? This is a fighting game. How could you fit Metroid into a fighting game? Well, aside from the fact that there's been multiple attempts throughout the series to try to make a giant sprawling map level, take this stage itself. You play as Samus, and your goal is to go to each corner of the map, acquiring keys, pressing buttons, and opening the way. If this map was in a Metroid game, it would look like this. You see what I'm getting at, right? You have this downstairs area, which is a combat hall. And further proof that just having rotorettes is not enough. You got the Indiana Jones style secret key, which has a high ceiling that hints at possible secrets up there. You got the ambush tunnel that does nothing but damage you since there's no kill road aside from where you came in from, so everyone just comes here. You have the real second key room, which is guarded by a lone rotorette, which is further proof. You have the platform moving button, and if you don't get distracted, the secret treasure in the big room. So yeah, it's a Metroid level, and given the amount of complaints that people have for the maze itself, it's clear that this experiment to get people to like Metroid didn't work. Which begs the question, how do you even create a Metroid game that's not a big map and is instead separated into tiny levels? Well, the answer is Wario Land 3, because that game is a Metroid game separated into tons of tiny levels. I will not get into it here. You should watch Heightsider's video for that. I'm giving you a lot of homework today, huh? On the subject, though, does anyone have proof that the Smash Bros. Guys did not play Wario Land, or is that still theory? I'd really like to know. Alright, but as far as hidden secrets go, this one over here actually is pretty good. Hiding behind boxes. Ooh, there's an item box there. What's in the box? It's extra life! Genuinely well done. Okay. Bomb's gone. Okay. Ah, this room is terrible! I have spent hours, maybe even days in this room, whacking and whacking and whacking and kicking, hoping for an end to the endless tide, but it never comes. There is a time and a place to do endless enemies, and a gentle waterfall room isn't one of them. Maybe when you're being chased by a big scary thing, that's a good time to do endless enemies. This is not one of them. For some reason, the giant versions of those guys do not strike me as annoying. Even though another one comes from the ceiling, it stops. This room is definitely way more nice to think about. Was this supposed to be a punchline of some kind? You know, get through the stupid room, get catharsis? It does not register as that for me. And here we go, boss room time.
The many metal Primids versus the one original. Can he do it? Can he twitch them all to death? Let's see. No, he's been shot, but he recovers.
Jumpin' jacks. This looks very interesting. We don't care. Alright, so this time I'm gonna showcase an interesting glitch. You know how I've been needing to reselect the characters every time I start a level? It's happening in free play now. Look, here I am as Simon. Then, by the next round, I'm as Snake now. Gotta reset the characters, beat him eventually, Snake again.
2 arms!
There's that grizzled guns guy again. This is an interesting one. I think it speaks to how good they did on this campaign that the least interesting parts to me are the fights with the characters themselves. But then again, that may also be a confession that the fights themselves suffer from the fight game campaign problem in which they don't try to make the fights memorable. Schwarzerblitz makes the fights memorable.
Ow!
You should play Schwarzerblitz. I think if I had to pick the most funny subspace enemy in the game, it would be Bombed. Not Toto, not Puppant, no. The silly bomb guys. Because they are made to cause funny interactions. That explosion should have killed me, but it didn't. This guy behind me, he gets confused. Look at this silly bee. And how do I deal with this one last guy? Marvelous. So you remember how I said the Ruined Zoo was just a hallway? Yeah, the Lakeshore is an even worse version of the Ruined Zoo because it literally is a hallway with an obstacle course, a sucker inside, a trophy that you either get or lose. It's kind of bad. Weirdly enough, the caves are exact opposite of that, and I'll explain what I mean right after this announcement.
The legs might suggest it's a beast of some sort, but in actuality, a Shados is formed by swarms of shadow bugs. Maybe that's why recklessly attacking it will do no good. You must strike its pink core to defeat it. Just watch out for the giant blades that it brings to the party. Mind the blades, pick your attacks wisely.
First and foremost, note the water cave here. This is a good illusion. It gives you the sense that if you actually go back there, there would be a lot more in this room than meets the eye. Secondly, note this hidden alcove. It is jarring, it does not flow inside nicely, which means it was placed there deliberately.
Someone's gold is hiding in this cave.
This pool room is a hallway, but again, look at the illusion. It's very nicely sold.
More on him later.